Hi, my name is Barbara Friedberg with Barbara Friedberg Personal Finance and Robo Advisor Pros. I'm a former portfolio manager and university investment instructor. And today I'm going to talk to you about smart, simple investing with M1 Finance. We're going to look at the just stocks and bonds section of the investment manager. And just let me give you a first disclaimer because I want to be completely transparent with you guys. If you click on the link below, you can sign up with M1 Finance to open an account, but you don't have to. In fact, you don't even have to use M1 Finance to implement these type of investment portfolios. So we're going to start today talking about a super easy way to get started investing. And this is perfect for you if you want to start growing your wealth. You don't know much about investing, but you've heard that it's a good way to take some extra cash, put it in the stock and bond markets, and have that money grow for your future, period. So I have on the screen today a picture of an investment portfolio that I opened at M1 Finance on January 7th, 2017. And you can see here how I started out with about $1,000 and it went up, 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 up. And everybody was so happy because on February 14th, 2020, that portfolio was worth $1,200. And then recently, as many of you know, the investment markets went down really, really drastically. And that was due to a couple of factors. The coronavirus hit really hot and heavy, businesses slowed down, and the market reacted. This is normal when you're investing. And if you don't want to experience the ups and downs of stock market investing, then you definitely should not be in, and just turn the video off now and go do something else. But if you're investing for the long term and you really want to see how year over year your wealth can compound, then stick with us. Because at the bottom here, you can see that the investment account dropped to $940. But up till today, it has rebounded and it's worth now $1,180. So my return is about a 7% average return over the past 2.5 years. So let's talk about the basics. How did I get this portfolio? Is this something you should do? Is it complicated? And let's just start with investing basics. I chose from M1 Finance a stock and bond split pie, and M1 uses the term pies for their investment portfolios. And simply all that means is they're a group of investments. You can have stocks in your investments, you can have funds, and you put it together in a grouping in certain percentages, and M1 calls that a pie. Now, historically, stocks have given us much higher returns than bonds, and stocks are simply ownership in a public company. So since actually the past 100 years, you could have earned about an average of 9% return in the stock market. But the catch is, most of us are not comfortable with 100% stock market portfolio, even though the returns can potentially be higher. And the reason is this. This portfolio has stocks and bonds, and look how much it dropped. An all stock portfolio during its worst year can lose 30 or 40%. Yikes. That's really, really scary. And that's why most investors will include some bonds, which are pretty much loans to governments or companies. And that gives you some diversification. So even if your stock market investments tank, you will have some bonds to kind of shore up your portfolios. Now, the portfolio that I chose for me was from M1 Finance, and it's called got to log back into my account. Here we are. It's called an 80-20, which means, let's go back and look at the research. And let's look at what type of pies that you can get. Now, I chose just stocks and bonds, and these pies are great for people that want a simple way to diversify their portfolio. And they just want to invest in simple stocks and bonds, and they want someone to help them, to do it for them. This just stocks and bonds are a list of the offerings that you can get in M1 Finance. And pretty much the 1090 and the 2080 and the 3070, these are just describing the percentages of stocks versus bonds. So for example, I chose the 80-20 because, I chose the 60-40 because I wanted 60% in stocks and 40% in bonds. And I'm probably older than a lot of you, and I'm headed into retirement and actually have already reached my retirement goals. So I don't want a lot of volatility in my portfolio. And so this 60-40 portfolio that I have, this is how it performs over 5 years since 2015. You'll see it's gained 41%. Okay, if we look at the 1-year return, it's gained 7.86%. And what's it made of, and why should I care? So, as simple as you could imagine, this investment portfolio only holds 2 funds. It holds the Vanguard Total World Stock Index Fund, which covers the entire world of stock market investing. Clearly, it doesn't own every stock, but it owns a wide representation of the major stocks and some of the big, medium, and small stocks from the world. So you get amazing diversification. And you get 60%, so of $1,000, $600 of my portfolio was invested in this fund. But in order to temper the returns, and so that when the stock market crashes, my investment portfolio, if it were all stocks, would tank. But to kind of hold it up, I invested 40% in the Vanguard Total Bond Market Fund. And this fund, you can see, has a much lower return. Okay. 1 year, 7.4. Well, actually, this year it did pretty well. Over the long haul, let's go 5 years so you can compare. Over the long haul, it had an 8.51% return. That's unusual for a bond fund, but it did very well over the past 5 years. And it's made up of public investment grade taxable bonds from the US. So this is not a global fund. It includes government, corporate, international, all different sorts of bonds. And typically you have bonds in your portfolio because it keeps the volatility, which means the ups and downs in prices, a little bit tamer. So let's go back. We're going to wrap this up. So who is this portfolio? Who is a stock and bond portfolio for? Which one should I choose? If you want to just get started in investing and you're youngish, then the rule of thumb is that take the number 110 and subtract your age. And that'll be the stock allocation. Now, this is again a rule of thumb. It's not right for everyone. But if you're age 30, then you might consider having 80% of your investments in the stock category. That's because you have a longer time to make up losses if the stock market does go through a big crash in the next couple of years. Whereas a retiree doesn't want 80% in the stock market, because if the stock market drops 30%, then they're going to lose a lot of their retirement dollars. So in the stock and bond portfolios, you can choose pre-made portfolios of just those 2 funds, the 2 that I invested in. It can't be simpler. And here's what you get. Let's say you're 30, but you're also conservative. You don't want as much volatility. You want things to be a little more tame. You don't want to even see a drop below, say, 15 or 20%. So you choose a 70-30 investment portfolio. And here you go. That since 2015, this has been the return of 70% stocks and 30% bonds. Here are the two funds. It could not be easier to set this portfolio up. That's one of the things that I really like about M1 Finance, although you can certainly do this on your own if you want to open an account at any number of investment brokerage firms. You can create this two-stock portfolio by yourself. The benefit, and I'm saving this for last, of M1 Finance, which is great for people who are kind of on the lazy side of investing. And although I've been a stock picker in the past, I gotta share with you, I'm kind of lazy now. I want to do less work. I want my investments to grow and I want those returns, but I don't want to every year rebalance my portfolio if it drifts because the stock market has gone up a whole bunch and it's now gone from 60% stocks to 70, then I don't want to have to sell 10% to get back to my 60-40 mix. So M1 Finance does the rebalancing for you. And best off, it's free. So that's amazingly cool. You don't pay for any investment management. The only funds you pay for are the minimal management fees of the investment funds. And these are like so unbelievably low. I think this one, if memory serves, is a 0.08% expense ratio, which is practically nothing. It's such a small percent of your investment value. And the bond expense ratio is a little higher. So let me wrap up here by telling you, you can get into investing really easily, really simply, really cheaply. Couple things to keep in mind. One, do not start investing with money you're going to need next year or in 2 years, or else what you might be subject to is starting to invest here, and then you need your money in a couple of months and your portfolio dropped till had a big decline, because this happens when you're investing. You want to invest only with money that you won't need for the next 5 to 7 years and get started small. Just put in, the cool thing about M1 is they only have $100 minimum investment. So start with $100, put that in, choose a simple portfolio just to get your feet wet now. And then over time, you can educate yourself, because learning about investing is not rocket science, but it does require a little bit of a learning curve, and get started investing. So if you want to learn more about M1 Finance, you can read my review. I have a full and comprehensive review on my website, Robo-Advisor Pros. There's a link to that in the show notes. You can always get in touch with me with questions on my website. And thanks for listening, and good luck investing.